iteration can be two types. First is definitely called finite, and another is infinite. Right? And I'll talk about it. And finite also has two different types called definite, and another is indefinite. And we'll take real life examples. So if I ask you to stand in line and ask the name of the person who is coming, in your community, and you say hello, ask the name and say hello, Yash, hello, Dev, just greet the person, right? But what will happen now is you are standing in the line and you are greeting people. But I never told you when to stop. Then you are creating an indefinite loop. Because remember, you are a robot, you are a computer. I did not tell you when to stop. If I didn't tell you, then you are going to be in an infinite loop. Right? It's common sense. I didn't tell you to stop. And it's like you keep doing this task because you are a robot. You can't think. On the other side, finite is when I'm telling you when to stop. Okay. And within that, again, as I said, definite and indefinite. Let's first focus on indefinite. Suppose I tell you to go and play outside, okay, till it's dark. Can you tell me how many minutes will you play? It depends on the day. Right now, it is not dark. It will, maybe you will play 2 hours. But in winter, if I say you same program, if it runs and say I go and play outside till it's dark, maybe you will be able to play only 20 minutes outside. As you can see, exact number you do not know because it is driven by a condition called till it is dark. Right? That's what we call it indefinite. When it's a condition that drives what to do. And remember, we already learned about conditions and we will apply it here too. So when you create a condition and the condition drives how long the loop will go, then it's a indefinite loop. You do not know exact count. For example, as I said, you're in a temple, you're a priest of the temple, right? And people are coming and doing puja, right? You don't know how many people will come. So you will say, stay in the temple till it's dark. Or you can say, stay in the temple till, people stop coming. Something like that, right? But how many people will come? Who knows? It may be, one day it may be 5 people, another day 20 people. Same thing in restaurant. Restaurant guys do not know that they have a time block, right? They know from this time to this time they will open the restaurant, and within that they will serve it. But in some places you will notice that it depends on number of customers. They may have different type of conditions. They can send, I will serve, first 50 customer. In another case, they can say as long as I have inventory, there is a sale, and Walmart has 5 TV, another Walmart has 10 TVs. People are coming and buying it. As long as they have TV, the sale is on. TV is gone, sale is off. You cannot predict how many times. I mean, Walmart knows that number, but you don't know that number. So you'll say, as long as there is a TV, the sale is on. But the TV is gone, sale is off. So that condition is driving that if TV is there or not. On the other side, you tell very specifically that I will serve 50 customers. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 49, 50, done. You know upfront in the beginning itself how many times you are going to run in the loop. Right? Another example, in your home, there are, potluck, 10 families are coming or 5 families coming. Your mom tells you to go and serve tea to them. You know upfront that there are how many uncles and aunties are sitting here, and you know how you have to serve them. There are 5 families, husband and wife, 10 adults. Yeah, you're gonna serve 10 cup of tea. You will take a cup of tea, give it to uncle. Hello, uncle. Give cup of tea. Go to next uncle or auntie. Hello, uncle or hello, auntie. The cup of tea. You're repeating the task of saying hello, giving them a cup of tea, or maybe biscuit, and you move on to the next, But you exactly know 10 times you will do that. If there is 11th, sorry, you ran out of tea anyway. But if somebody tells you to you're in a party, you don't know how many people. As long as you have biscuit in your plate, or the tea is coming, you keep serving the tea, and kitchen says sorry, no more tea. You say sorry, no more tea. Maybe 20 people, maybe 30 people, who knows? That's called indefinite loop. Indefinite loop is different than infinite. Infinite is when you don't know when to stop. Indefinite is you don't know how many times. You keep doing it, is driven by some condition. Any questions so far?
I have a question.
Yep.
I'm just a little bit confused on the indefinite and finite. So you're saying that the difference is that you don't know how many times to do it and not stopping doing
Yep.
it?
Like, give an example. Since morning, have you done anything repetitive?
No.
Think you have. Yeah, you woke up, you did this work, this work, this work. Tomorrow again, you are going to do this, maybe same task or a little bit different, but you are going to do the same thing, right? So think an example where a real life example. Let's think about it. What you could have done repetitive since morning. Take this class, right? So you are supposed to spend 60 minutes in this class. I'm taking an example. You know upfront that at 60 minutes I will switch it off. But what if I tell you, let's study till you get exhausted? Then can you tell me how many hours did you study? Depends when you get exhausted. The condition, are you exhausted? Your answer is no. I will continue to teach you. Are you exhausted? No, I'll continue to teach it. Maybe after 2 hours you say I'm exhausted, and say okay. How many times? How many minutes did you learn? 120 minutes. Because after 120 minutes you said exhausted equal to yes. So I'm going to ask you, are you exhausted? Are you tired? This is a condition. And answer is yes. Then stop learning. And answer is no. Keep going. Now you tell me, today, how many minutes will you study? It depends on how tired you are today, right now, isn't it? It may be 60 minutes. Tomorrow it may be 120 minutes. And another day maybe 15 minutes. You say, you know what, I'm really tired. And every minute I'll ask you this question, are you tired? You say, no, keep going. Are you tired? No, keep going, keep going. And you can keep counter of the time. And at the end, I will ask you, how many minutes did you study? You will say 15 minutes. But the other day, you will say 60 minutes. Correct? Dev?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if I tell you that today's class is for 60 minutes, then there is no condition. You know it is 60 minutes. And same thing tomorrow also 60 minutes. Day after also tomorrow 60 minutes. Because it's fixed. This is why it is definite and this is indefinite, which is exactly opposite of definite. This is a fixed, definite, and this is indefinite. And both these are type, what we call it, finite. Because in both these cases, loop is ending. Whether it is ending because of a condition or it is ending because of a fixed number, loop is ending. But in the, as I said, finite and infinite. Yeah. Think of an example of infinite in real life. Right? You switch on the TV and leave it on, and the TV will continue to run. There is no way unless there is a power cut, right? I mean, actually, that makes it a little bit finite, because now you're saying as long as there is a power. Now you're giving a condition. But what if
like
there
a clock?
is a power cut? Then it will, what is that?
Like a clock will always tell time, so that would be infinite.
Exactly, that's an indefinite, right? I mean, that is running in the loop. Every second, every fraction of second is telling you the time. It is displaying on the screen something. The time is refreshing. Every second it is updating, and it is a running infinite. Actually, truly, it's not infinite, because if it runs out of battery, then yeah, it's in. So basically, on the top, you're saying show time till battery dies, right? And I'll show you example of infinite too. I'll show you in the code also. But do you understand at a high level what is finite and what is infinite? And then within finite, what we call it definite and indefinite. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the second part, why do we need loop? You also understand now, right? Dev, Jay?
Yeah, I understand it.
How about you, Jay?
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay, very good. Now let's focus first on what we call it indefinite. How do we do indefinite code? How do we write iteration for indefinite? So indefinite is relatively very simple. The use case is also relatively straightforward. But just want to tell you one thing is in indefinite, when we are saying indefinite, some places they also call it pretest, and I'll tell you why they call it pretest. So we are saying, let's say, play outside till it rains. Let's say there is a problem. Students say play outside till it rains, and assuming it will rain at some point of time. So let's say create a variable called rainy equal to false, right? Then you want to say that check if it is rainy. Say rainy equal to false. Suppose I'm checking this condition, and based on this, I say play, right? If rainy equal to true, then play outside. But the only thing I have to do is to repeat this till this statement, the whole expression returns true. As long as this is true, you keep playing. So this expression, the result has to be true for this statement to execute. That is what if else does. We already learned that. If you say if rainy equal to false, and answer is it false? Answer is yes, which is true. Then you go and play outside. And all I have to do now is to put it in the loop. So what you do is you simply replace if with, you call it say while. Everything else remains same. You simply say while rainy equal to true, colon play. So this statement play will continue to execute because we said while this whole thing is true. Because earlier we said if this statement is true, then play. Now we are saying continue to execute this statement till the time the condition remains true. That's what we are changing it. That's the only difference. We convert if to while, and anything else executes perfectly fine. And that brings me to give you a tip. Anytime you write a loop, first forget about loop. Just write it for one person. That will give you an idea of things that is changing, that is repeated for second person or third person or fourth person. And then you know that this is your target line of code for a loop. And then you always go and convert that loop into while.